Now
What
you
up,
ran a cat
bro?
house.
Hi PDF, thanks for letting me in. One of your mods, I think, blocked a comment I made in your live chat, but I'm not here to cause any shit.
Yeah. One of the, I don't know. You said one of the dudes did what with the chat?
I was timed out in your live stream chat.
Oh, I'm sure you were after all the stories you put out about people like us. Still
But
wanted to just block you.
I don't put stories out. No, I'm not here to cause you any shit, PDF. I think you're very
Oh,
valuable. I think you're
you guys,
very valuable
hey, you
because
got stories about me too, though, don't you?
I don't think I've ever done you. Have I, PDF? I don't think I've ever done
Yeah,
you.
you did. You tried to beat me up a long time ago.
Oh,
Didn't work out
maybe
too good, huh?
maybe in a live stream.
Ain't nothing you can do to me they ain't already done for.
I know. I don't think we've ever spoken. So
I've been to your room. Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm. To my mind, you're a good mouthpiece because you know when we find these arseholes, and I'm not calling you arsehole. I mean, you know.
I'd like to know the story. I was wishing Catch You Later come up. Come on up on the panel, Catch You Later, and tell us the story. That'd be the best thing I would think would be the fair and logical thing to ask for, wouldn't you, Frog? So you could hear the actual story. I don't know the story. I don't know. I don't think any of us do we?
Yeah, well, I mean, all we know is that he pled guilty to an offence involving a 12 to 16-year-old.
Yeah, 1989. I got that record, but I don't know the actual story. I mean, I don't see the actual.
As regards, you know, does anyone like a nonce? Does anyone like a nonce?
No, but I still want to hear the story. I like facts.
Oh yeah, I'd like to hear the story. I'd like to hear what he did.
Yeah.
I'd like him to apologise to the community, to your community.
I'd like him to do what he wants to do, and if that's what he would want to do, then I think I would rather not ask that and wait and see what happens later. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's I'm not here to cause.
Find out what they want to.
Kapla!
Do they?
Hello, everybody.
Do they feel remorse, or so to speak? You know, but to ask for it, then they would say, "Yeah, I'm sorry," because then, well, you asked for it, you gave them a way out. So it's what you expect. Like I said, I just want to hear the story, and then after the story, then you could come back and say, "You know what? Well, you didn't even apologize, or why don't you apologize?" Or you see what I mean? It's people give people ways out by asking for certain things. Well, of course he's going to apologize then because you asked him to. You see what I'm saying?
Remember, it's me asking, and he ain't going to.
You shouldn't have to ask. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I would he said he's going to come up and talk to us. So, hey, we'll find out. I'd like to know the story. What I read was lewd and lascivious, which could be pissing in an alley.
No. That wouldn't be a felony.
No.
I just wanted to ask the Frog a question right quick.
Who's this?
Did you, before you posted that story, did you talk to the person, or where did you get your information from to even go look up that story? Who gave you a lead to that story, and why? And did you go to Catch You Later before you decide to do a hit piece?
No. There's no way I'll get to Catch You Later. There's no way I'll get to Catch You Later. He wouldn't talk to me. He's not like PDF. Sorry, am I feeding back?
You're echoing a little bit. Like you're saying. Well, no, I just asked him, and he said he's going to come in and talk to us. You know?
No, it's not. It's not me feeding back. It's Miss B feeding back.
Miss B, you got feedback.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't talk to me, and I don't know. I mean, I think PDF's been very good in letting the community know about people with offences like this, and I think that's why I've come up, because
But shouldn't you think that it would be more appropriate and more adulthood had you spoke to the person before you came out and posted something like that? Because I mean, I don't defend anybody for no reason, so I'm not defending him, or I'm not trying to jump you. I'm just asking questions. Okay, I
No.
just want to know why you wouldn't go to this man and ask him why he in jail, and the DA and the judge make a comment about him about something happened 30 years ago. Why wouldn't you go and ask him, say, man, they said this about you 30 years ago, but
Because
you
it's a felony
no, but you
sexual
just went up there and
involving
you made a
a
hit piece
child.
on him.
Well, that's
Who
what I
is,
do.
sorry, the
Yeah, that's
That's
frog.
his
what
job.
Are you
I
Church
do.
of Four?
Huh?
Is the
No, that's
frog?
the
I
frog.
know. No, I'm not
What?
Church of Four.
No,
Sound
I,
really like.
he's
I
from
do
over
like.
across the pond over there.
Yeah, so is Church of Four.
That's why they
What's
all
his name?
sound like. They all sound the same over there. I'm
They
just
all look
fucking
the
with
same as
you.
well. They all have like bad teeth. And, I wouldn't joke. I joke.
But you see, I learnt my lesson with the big. Well, probably the biggest name in the fraud. Not. I'm not going to use that word. I'm not going to use that word in the auditing community. News Now Houston, who tells a story. No, it wasn't his fault. No, she was aged this, and no, she was aged that. They've all got their stories because they can't deal with the fact that they committed a sex crime. If he could deal with the fact, he'd have told the people that he was out auditing with. He would have told them. Yet now what he's done is he set up Dr. Sean Berry, who's gone out to raise funds for him. I mean, all he is he's PDF. You
Uh,
get on with your life, don't you? You get on with your life. You don't. I've never heard you really complain. I've never really heard you beg for money.
I've never asked for a dime out here for myself ever. Not one time.
Exactly. I've never heard that about you, and that's why I've got some respect for you, man. I don't think I can't remember ever doing anything about you, but if I did, I've forgotten it.
Oh,
And
it was meaningless. Yeah.
I
What's
don't
your
think I've ever.
channel, the frog? I'm not
Pardon?
so. What's your channel?
The Frog. That's my channel.
That's it. Just the frog.
Yep, that's it. If you search the Frog, I'll come out because
Searching it now. How long are you on YouTube?
I've been in watching auditing community since about 2015. So I've had my YouTube channel then. I lost the YouTube channel because of News Now Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I found you.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
subscribe.
I built up a second YouTube channel. I'm seen as the enemy. I know I'm seen as the enemy, but I'm not a cop. I'm not in law enforcement.
Oh, you're against auditors. One of these people, is it?
No, because I've got friends who are auditors, so I can't say that I am against auditors. I can't say that I am against all auditors.
So
I can't say that.
you're not for or against. You're kind of neutral and just
Yeah, but
taking.
probably because sometimes the stance I take, I can be seen as being against. I started out very for, so
Okay.
I think I've seen abuses, and I was very pleased. And I congratulated Liberty Freak on his win in the 10th circuit.
Okay.
So I'm not. Sometimes I might not agree with the methods, but but I'm not. But I will appear to be anti. So, and
Okay.
I can accept that. I'm happy with that. But I can also come and have hopefully a civil conversation with.
Oh, of course, of
people.
course.
I thought PDF was on, and I got blocked in his live chat, and I thought, well, I'll come up onto the screen because I don't really know why I'm blocked because I used to troll. I was a pro, then I used to troll because they wouldn't. No one would listen to an alternative point of view. No one would listen to an alternative point of view. You're either pro or against. You weren't. There was no grey.
Right.
And there were a lot of people, and PDF will know this because he wasn't one. But there's a lot of people who have taken a lot of money out of, and I always think of the poor old lady who's spending the last $10 and she listens to this sob story, and she thinks, oh, that sounds so sad. I'm going to send that off to her. And I feel so sorry for her for being ripped off.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
Frog. Excuse me, Frog. What you doing right now? You're not telling what the problem is. We want to know. You can't wear if that old lady with $10 put her last $10 in that. That has nothing to do with you. Why did you put that hit piece on that guy? And why did you not talk to him first? And that's the question. Not about no old lady and her $10. Because I don't know nobody with just $10 was sending to somebody on YouTube. So get that mess straight. Let's stay back on track, on point.
Yeah, but it's what I do. It's what I do. And I've outed a number of these nonces. It's what I do.
yeah,
And
well,
I don't
you
like
have the right to do it. You
sorry.
have the right to do it.
Sorry, I don't like a nonce. And I think if they've been secretive about their past, that's even worse. And
Okay.
so that's what I
Okay.
do. And
You see,
Okay, so
Miss
now
B,
so now you want
Miss B,
somebody to go and drag about everything about your past from 30, 40 years ago and
no, no.
nobody even asked you one question. They just posted on the internet 30 years ago and I heard it from straight from the prosecutor's mouth.
How about,
While the prosecutor trying to do this guy. I worked with sex offenders for years. 95% of them were guilty, but you always had that 5% that wasn't. You have to give a person a chance. You can't just come out here and say what you want to say. People talk about me like a dog out here. They know nothing about me. See, you'll repeat they talking points too, because you won't take the time to do a straight investigation. The man was locked up in jail, and you doing a hit piece on him. You could even wait for him to get out and do a story, a real story. If he's whatever he is, you should have waited and did a real story on him. And now you
why?
want to deflect about some old woman and her last $10.
Why,
You deflecting.
why should I listen to his lies? Why? I
well, the thing
prove
is,
them
it's kind of
wrong.
low hanging fruit, right? The frog. There's lots of people who are doing this. Like you're not original or anything. Like I'm not trying to put you
No,
down. I'm just trying to say there's a lot of people, right? And it's low hanging fruit. And you're asking, I kind of ask myself, why are they doing this to the low hanging fruit? Like, I mean, is it for clicks and views? Because when you look at the, I'm not sure if you're allowed to say his name, the Epstein case. Well,
yeah.
where's your video on that? Nobody convicted except for that one woman, right? And none of the people who actually committed the crimes were convicted. Not one. Where's your video on
Because
that? Can I go find that? No, I can't
because I don't
because it's not
I
low
don't
hanging
think
fruit. It's just some dude on the
so.
internet you're going to do a video on, right?
Well, I
There's
mean, if
important stuff out there, is my point, and you could be doing,
if you
you could
want
be.
to not listen to his lies, that's up to you. I don't want to.
I don't know who you're even talking about, to be honest with you. I just
Okay,
know
hold on,
people
wait,
who go
excuse me,
after.
Coach. You don't want to listen to his lies, but you'll spread lies from the prosecutor
I
and the
haven't spread
judge.
any lies. All
Gotcha.
I've spread is facts. All I've spread is facts. All I've spread
Speaking of
is the
that,
court record. So that's all I've spread, Ms. Bees. The court record. Okay? That's all I've spread. And the court record says that he pled guilty. There was no jury trial. He wasn't found guilty. He wasn't, he
And
wasn't
a
found guilty.
real journalist
And
and a
no,
real
and
journalist
no,
wouldn't have waited
and
30
no
years
innocent
for a
person,
prosecutor to
and
tell him
no
that and
innocent
do a hit
person.
piece, not a real journalist.
Yes, they do. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about, Ms. Bees.
oh,
I
she
don't
does.
know you.
Oh, don't be fooled. Miss B knows exactly what she's talking about.
I don't know you. I,
She's a very,
I,
very intelligent woman, the frog.
I
yeah, I
don't
don't.
know you either, but I know one thing. I wouldn't go and somebody say the frog this or that, and I just go run with it and make a video. I got enough sense not to do that.
I'm sorry, Ms.
So
Bees,
why
but
would you do it? So,
I did
sometime as
exactly
an
what I
adult,
reported
you have to
to
do
do.
adult things. And what you did was a childish, immature act. The man was
No, it
locked
is
up
not.
in jail.
No, it is not.
Locked
No,
up.
it is
That
not,
was
Ms. Bees.
childish and immature.
I did something
Not
that
30
really
year
the
old
auditing
case.
community should
Stop
have
it,
done
frog.
themselves.
Stop.
Ms. Bees, I did something that the auditing community should have done themselves. They should know who is amongst them. And I'm sorry, but I have no time for sexual predators. That's me. And I will out sexual predators until the day I die. I haven't said one word about Yin Yang's criminal record, have I? Have I said any word about Yin Yang's criminal record? I could have broadcast his criminal record if I just want to diss people. But have I said one word about it? No, I haven't. Sexual predators. And if you don't understand what that is, I'm sorry for you. But that is a male who has damaged a female. I'm assuming it's female, could be a male, has damaged a young child for the rest of their life. And that's what they have done. It's a bit like, I do not like Joe Cool, because to my
none of us agree with that. Nobody here agrees with that. Our PDF wouldn't have anybody like that here.
Like what?
That doesn't feel bad about sexual predators. Nobody here is backing up any sexual predator. Trust me.
Exactly. But Miss, you wouldn't know about him unless I'd have told you. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know about him. It would still be. You wouldn't know about him if he hadn't have gotten himself arrested yesterday. He'd have continued to build a following, and no one asked questions. And that's the problem, isn't it, Port Farmer?
Hey, I've asked several people. I've asked several people out here about the people they stand beside, and I've had several of them tell me, well, they don't care who they stand beside. I said, so you're only in it for the click and the view and the dollar then, I guess, because I'm going to pretty much know who I'm standing beside. Well, then they bring up that shit that happened in North Carolina. None of us was standing beside that guy. We didn't know that dude. He just showed up out of fucking nowhere, out of the blue, in a public place on a public street. So they try to say all the shit that they say, but none of it's true. None of it's true.
The frog. PDF has been doing this for years. You realize he's been doing this for years. He's been calling people out for years.
Did you not hear? I was here before PDF. I was aware of this community before PDF. So did you not hear me say that?
No, you're breaking up a little bit as well right now. Have you got something on in the background?
No.
Yeah, you do. You look. You're just mute yourself for a second.
Sound like you got YouTube on in the background.
Yeah. Look, now it's gone. Unmute. Hello. Yeah. No, it's there. It's there again. Have you got YouTube on, the frog?
Well, no. When you expose these stories, if they're facts, you ain't did nothing wrong.
I haven't seen the frog before. You were here before PDF was.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I suspect I was aware of this and watching the community before him. I don't remember. I remember the PDF appearing.
I haven't even seen you on the English auditors channels.
Frog, you don't remember me. My first name is Mega Violated. That's who I was in the beginning.
All right. So you were around in 2015, 2014, that sort of time, PDF. Sorry. I
got videos out from 2011. This is my second page.
You're okay.
Oh,
my first page.
The elves said the frog is recording for his channel. It's causing a lot of feedback, the frog.
Yeah. But either way, like I said, when you report the facts, that's one thing. I can say, well, like what me says, oh, did you do it this way? Well, that would have been the way she would have done it. But Frog gets to do it his choice. We can't take his choice away of the choice the way he did, as long as he does facts, which he did. Right. He did facts. I mean, how he did it is his prerogative. You might not like how he does it, but you can't take his freedom of choice away as a free.
All right. Human, yeah, exactly. You know? That's what we are. We're activists. We're
me. I want to get Caveman up. I'm not Caveman. My names are all fucked up. I'm terrible at fucking names. But I want to get him up here and let him tell his story. This is what happened back in 1989. Blah. Tell the whole story. We can hear the facts right from the guy himself. Whether he tells the truth or not, that's up to him. He has the chance. Whether he tells his story, whether anybody believes it or not, I think people need to know the actual facts as they tell it, whether it be Mouse, whether it be News Now Houston, whoever it is. If you don't give them the chance to tell the story, how are you going to figure anything out? You're going to believe everything the police say? No. You believe everything the criminal says? No. You got to hear the story, hear the facts, register and digest it through your own brain, and then you decide what you think with the facts that you receive. But don't make your opinion just because Frog put out a video saying the guy was busted in 1989 for lewd and lascivious acts. What does that even mean? You don't even know. That's why I want to know the facts. Then we make our decision. You see what I'm saying? That's the way Miss B's saying things should be done. But hey, Frog wouldn't have put that story out. We already knew about it, Frog. So we already had the recording. We was already digesting it. We've already heard it. The elves already sent me a copy earlier today. So we were already on it. When you put the story out, it was like, well, there it is. You see what I mean? So it was going to come out. There's no doubt about it.
Port Farmer, you know as well as I do, in Florida, you've got two very wealthy people who have made a lot of money being activists.
You got more than two.
Yeah, but you got James Madison and you got Rogue Nation.
Yeah, two great guys.
Yeah.
Two great guys. Please don't get me bad about it. Anymore.
Let me talk. You are. Can you? You know, he's interrupted me. Port.
Hold up, Ruto. What'd you say now, Fred? What'd you say, Frog, about them two making money? Yeah, they make money. They make good money. Yes.
Yeah, they're making very good money out of this, and yet they do not want to police what is happening within the community. And if the community have been policed right from the beginning,
I'm not sure I can agree with that 100% because just the other day, Rogue Nation came into the panel and said, hey, y'all looked at this guy Chili lately? And then he threw a couple facts at us and then said, check it out. So we all went and checked it out, and I'll be damned. Rogue Nation was right. Son of a bitch. So he does police the community there in that case.
Okay. What,
can I comment on that when you have a break before you move on to the next subject? Can I just make a comment on that? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's listen.
Number one, right? These people are rights activists, right? And that's what they're doing. That's what they're actively doing, right? That's what they are. They're not community police in any sort of form.
Okay, let me stop you right there then. Let me interject there. Because you have to fucking keep the people you're with accountable, or how can you hold another man accountable? I can't hold another man, another human woman accountable if I'm not going to hold myself and the people around me accountable. I don't care what.
That's a whole other job. That's not something you can do in 5 minutes or in your spare time or in between audits. That's not something you can do like that. And he's not with anybody. He's only with his group, his little group, and everyone in that little group is fucking a great person. Nothing wrong with
because we go all over, dude. We go all over. Rogue Nation been to California and back. My point is, if you're going to come out here and you're going to hold up your shield and you're going to stand there with your sword and say, I am holding you accountable for your actions, boy, and you hold over the guy with a piece of tin pin to his titty and a gun on his side, you can't hold that man accountable if you're not holding the motherfucker accountable standing beside you. Another activist, a friend, a partner, a relative, whoever it may be. I don't give a fuck. And that's my problem. I have the same thing Frog says. They're not holding each other accountable. They're not researching who they're standing with. They're collecting money for who gives a shit. They were collecting money last night for this guy that they now have disowned. Don't have nothing to do with this guy. But they was what happened to the money that was donated last night to this guy? It went into Chuck Bronson's account.
Which guy?
Where's this money at?
Which guy?
Catch you later.
I don't know anything about that. Is that something to do with Rogue? Is he connected to Rogue in some way?
Yeah, Rogue said I don't want nothing to do with him because he has a charge for a sexual charge from 1989. That's the guy we're trying to get up here and talk about today or two.
So the people hanging around Rogue are good people, right? He's not hanging around with anybody who's not a good person, right? I think.
Well, if Catch You Later has sexual charges from 1989 or lewd and lascivious acts.
Is Rogue hanging around with this Catch You Later person? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, it's all Florida. It's the whole Florida group. You're back in time. You ain't caught up yet.
No, I really haven't. I've been working in the house.
You're not able to stay with the battle because you don't know that. You don't know the details. The details are, everybody stood up with this guy, and now they're saying stand against the guy. But yet last night they were collecting money for the guy. And now someone donated money last night. I watched super chats go through Chuck Ross's page. They were donating money. Where'd that money go if they're not going to give it to the guy because he has sexual charges? So now they're collecting money on false pretenses.
But wait, we're all over the place. Was Rogue collecting money for this guy?
I
Or
heard that the guy, he's out of jail now.
Yeah, he's out of
He's
jail. I
out
just
of jail
talked to him
now.
on the phone.
Okay.
He's going to be here on the panel in a little while. I'll kick
Good.
everybody off and
That's
let
the
him
right
talk.
thing. That's the right thing to do, is to let him come up and tell,
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
but
saying.
hold on.
That's
We're
all
going
I
off
do.
subject here. Did Rogue and James Madison stand up for this guy last night and collect money for this guy last night? I don't know. I wasn't here. No, they didn't, right? No, they didn't. Okay, that's good. So now we're getting to the point that they're out doing their activist work. They are obviously policing themselves because Rogue doesn't hang around with anybody who's not a decent person. And oh God, they made money. Oh, that must make them bad. Is that right, Frog? They made money, so screw them. Is that the problem? They're making money. Is that the issue you have, Frog?
You're totally missing the point, Futai.
What point? What point? Who's bad that hangs around with Rogue? Who's Rogue defending that's bad? I'm not missing the point at all, Frog. I'm right on the
Can
point.
I speak?
You said Rogue and James Madison are out there making money, blah 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 blah.
But you never let him finish, Futai. You never let him finish.
All right, go ahead, finish. Answer the question.
I didn't say they were making money out of Catch You Later. What I said is they've made a lot of money out of this genre.
So what?
I'm sure they have. Can I say something real quick, please?
Yeah, so what?
Hold up. And what do you say, Frog? So now, once you are making a lot of money, that means that puts you up on a pedestal, which means you should be a little bit more policing of the people around you. If you're going to come out, Rogue Nation, James Madison said, cut off Catch You Later, have nothing to do with him forever. They're done with him. They want nothing to do with him. I say, I would like to talk to the guy. I want to know. I want him up here on the panel. I want to tell his story. I'm not just going to cut him off because Frog put a story out. I want to know the information. What's wrong with the facts? I think they should have said, hey, we need to get him in here. You guys was all backing him down there a fucking month ago. Every one of y'all.
I think that that's the perfect thing to happen for him to come in. But can I say one thing real quick? The people that do make money, they trust me. If anybody deserves to make money off of YouTube content, it is definitely the people that do what we do. We risk our freedom. We risk
y'all ain't making no money.
I know I'm not making a dime. I'm saying
James Madison got a video page where he makes money filming boats and shit coming in and out of the ocean. That's a money making page there.
What I'm saying is, I didn't start this for money. If I wanted money, I'm not no fool. I'll go out and start a damn business. I'll go get a job. I don't sit around and do things for years and pay my own money to do it because I'm that stupid. I do this because I'm a civil rights activist. I'm an activist in general, okay? But what I'm saying is, but yet we all get classified as frauditors and this and that when a lot of us pay out of our own pocket to do this. And the ones that do make money, they damn sure deserve it. I know if I made money, I would deserve it. I worked my ass off. I was up all night long last night and half of yesterday. And yeah, I was trying to raise money for this man because I've met this man. I've worked with this man. I didn't know about these charges, but I want to hear his side of the story. And I'd like to see the transcripts and all that shit because I don't trust them.
You've gone muted.
I'm sorry. I had got a phone call. I apologize.
I just talked to him on the phone. I pretty much know the whole story.
Okay. And I want to say one more thing real quick. If people really hate that we go out there and record police so bad, why the hell do they take our footage and use it? If you hate it that bad, why give it any exposure?
Because they're jealous of the money you're making and they want to make that money.
But I don't even make money.
No money.
That's what it is. That's the fucking truth. All right.
But they do. They do. I see them get hundreds and hundreds of dollars in their things sometimes. And we're the ones getting accused of money. And I can't even make $100 a month. Okay. And I'm not trying, I spend money. I spend so much money on body cams, on motel rooms, on gas, on all this stuff. And then y'all want to call us frauditors. And
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
some people.
yeah.
No, the whole crew ain't great. There's people out there that ain't in it for the right reasons. There's people in there that do
Sure.
things I don't like. But you know what? The majority of us are pretty damn good people, and I know I am, and
Yeah.
I know there's some for real
Well,
activists,
hey,
and
I
those are
thought
the ones
about
that
the
usually
word
don't make.
frauditor. There can't be a word frauditor. That's an oxymoron.
I
So
agree
is
with Amy
Stalvin Sitterson.
100%. You're talking
Huh?
some good sense there, Amy.
Yeah, but
That's
see, then you look at the other side of it, and
how
because y'all are looking at one side, you're not looking at the other side. I seen
no,
the side from the other side.
there is no other side. It's not
Yeah,
a real.
there is. Yeah,
No, there
there
is.
is. When I
It's fake.
watch a motherfucker
Fake
sit there and
news.
say, "There ain't no money here, I'm going to the beach," and that motherfucker makes thousands of goddamn dollars every fucking goddamn month, but there ain't no money here, I'm
Oh,
going to
I
the
think
beach.
that's
I
bullshit too.
fucking hold up, let me talk. I drove 6 goddamn hours that fucking day. I didn't have fucking money for gas to get home, and neither did DC Accuracy and his fucking wife. But we drove our happy asses all the way down there to fucking stand up for everybody. But when DC Accuracy got fucked, I didn't see a motherfucker stand with us up here in fucking Tallahassee. Now, did we? And when y'all asked me to come down there, y'all on your own. Good luck with that.
I thought
I'm
you
glad
meant
I
something
didn't
else.
go.
No,
I
I'm
I thought
glad
agree.
I didn't go.
Uh,
Frauditor, I could fucking sit there and tell y'all one after another. I
Yep.
can tell you what the reason is behind I call these motherfuckers a bunch of goddamn frauditors. Bunch of fake ass motherfuckers running around, and none of them got a trade. Half of them never had a goddamn job in their fucking life, running around here with a camera in their hand begging for money to film people. This is a fucking joke. There ain't no fucking community here. It's a bunch of fucking frauds. Everybody looking for a free fucking dime from a fucking supporter. Last night they sent money to that guy. Someone got money in his fucking name last night, and they're gonna fucking keep it. I guarantee you that.
Don't worry,
Now,
we're going to get Rogue
tell
Nation,
me
and
about a fucking
we're going to
frauditor.
get James Madison out to police all these
Futo,
people in between
Futoy,
audits.
I understand
Futoy. I
We're
know
going
you
to
like
exactly
get
what
Futo,
fraud
don't
means.
worry,
Futoy,
we're going to get to
Futoy,
police all these
Futoy,
people
Futoy.
between audits. What the fuck?
Can I
No,
say?
I fucking am
Paul,
expected
Paul,
to do it. I'm
PDF,
expected to do
PDF,
it,
PDF,
Futoy.
Yeah,
Why isn't
but
PDF,
everybody
that's what
else?
you do. But yeah, but
PDF,
PDF, that's what you
PDF,
do. You are the guy for that.
No,
Not
I
not
ain't.
not Frog, not these other
PDF,
clicky people.
Bro, go ahead.
PDF.
Seriously, Frog.
Yeah.
I can't. Sorry.
Go ahead, bro.
Sorry, I put myself on mute. You wouldn't mind muting Futoy just for a sec, could you?
Sure.
Just hold up, Futoy. Let him talk.
I've not got very long. I feel he's interrupting me. I are having a good conversation. There's so much we agree on, so much we agree on.
You
I
got
think.
PayPal Patty. You got this piece of shit fucking chili running around. You got these motherfuckers all begging for money for a new camera to film the fucking homeless people. I think I want to document the homeless. Will y'all donate money so I can buy a new camera, please? Because I got long hair and the girls like me. You're a fraud too, boy. All you motherfuckers out there, a bunch of goddamn fakes and frauds with a fucking camera in your hand trying to make money off a bunch of broke motherfuckers on YouTube because you don't see no fucking people with big money out here in the chat, do you? Bunch of
Nope.
poor people can't afford their own fucking prescriptions, and they're donating money. That's what I see
And
out
I want
here.
to agree with you that there are a
American
lot
Amy,
of
can
them
I
that
address
are
you as well?
frauds.
Can I address you, American Amy, before I go?
Uh,
I'm aware of your name. I don't think I've ever, you've never hit my radar, so you've never done anything that I think at all is anything to criticize, because otherwise I would have done. So,
She's good people. She don't hurt nobody.
so I think but it's just I want people to be aware of that. Not everyone, and I think Paul Dirt Farmers hit the nail right on the head. That not everyone is who they say they are. Not everyone is in it for the
I
right reason.
agree.
Not everyone is in it for the activism reason. People out there who are recommending doing things that are definitively against the law and not doing anything for anyone's rights.
No one has hurt me as much as my own community. No one has disappointed me as much because I come into this thinking everybody was going to be pure-hearted like myself and just be wanting to be an activist. And no, I know they're not all that way. But a lot of times those of us that aren't like that, we get accused in it. But I appreciate when y'all expose some shit that we need to know about. Yes, I do. I do appreciate that. And I think that we should be able to work together on those kind of things. instead of, you know.
How come a guy across the ocean can come up with the facts, but you're standing beside the guy for months and you never could?
I
wonder
figured
why.
the fucking trolls would have already vetted him by then. I always tell people, oh, these people are safe because the trolls have done ran their records. That's what I always thought. And I thought people would tell me before they
So
recorded with me.
you put someone else's you let somebody else hold accountable the people that you stand beside.
No, but I trusted the
That's what he's trying to say. We as a community, if you want to
need to
call it
hold them
that, are
accountable
not
ourselves.
holding each other accountable. We're not holding ourselves or each other accountable in a lot of cases. And
I
that's the
understand.
problem with the fucking alleged community out here. As far as money goes, the people who don't do audits and just report stories are the ones making the real money, not the Rogue Nation and James Madison's. James Madison makes his money off of businesses. He has several companies he owns, operates, and runs, private businesses. That's where his money comes from,
Yes, he
not
does.
the YouTube community. If he does make money on YouTube, it's from his fucking page over there watching boats. You want to make money on
And
YouTube? Fuzzy kittens and puppies, waterfalls, and fucking sunrises, not cops. Just
but
trying to tell
even
you.
if people do make money at that, they do deserve it. You know, if I ever make money at it, it
Yeah.
will be well
2 years of
deserved.
your life going to court. I don't care how much you win. You just throw 2 years of your
I
goddamn
know.
life away
I,
going to court when you get arrested. How's that making money? Throwing
it's
life
not.
away.
It's not. My
You're not
case will
making
be.
money.
I never said I
All
was.
right. Well, either way, I got to put y'all down because I'm going
Well,
to
I
bring.
got to go anyway. But it was
All
nice
right. We'll
talking
see
to
you
you.
later. Bye. I'm going to bring Catch You Later up. Everybody let Catch You Later talk, or I'll put you in the basement. Catch You Later. Pop it up on the panel and disappear. Let's see if he'll try it again. Add to stream. All right. And then he fell out again.
Mr. Bronson would like to come up too, I think. So if you got to drop me, it's fine, PDF.
He has a terrible signal. All right, you here now, man, or what, dude? Catch you later. Can you talk? Do you have a connection? Catch you later. Can you talk? I don't know. He has a terrible signal. They're trying to get a signal. They're driving. Signals coming and going. I don't know where they're parked at. Does your phone work better, Gio? Can you come up on with your phone? You got a better signal than he got? I don't know. Either way, like I say, signals, these internet signals always suck. My point is, I try to hold people accountable for what they do around me. If I see someone doing something that's not accountable, I'm going to say something. It's just the way I am, man. I don't know why the rest of the world doesn't want to act this way. You know?
And you do it well. You do it well, PDF.
Well, if more people stood up, guess what? I wouldn't take so much heat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you would, PDF.
Probably
Well,
still would. A lot of trolls.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about all them guys.
Hey,
Either way,
Gregory.
like I said, the story was that he was telling me on the phone earlier. I couldn't really hear as good as I would like to, so I can't really repeat it because I can't remember it word for word like I would like to. But supposedly there was another guy involved in this case who is deceased now. Something happened that he was a witness to and got involved in somehow. I don't know the whole story. I haven't. I was wishing he could talk. So I guess he ain't gonna be able to. I don't know. Eventually it'll come out. Like I told him, you tell your story, that's all you can do. People gonna have to make up their mind on what off of what he says, off of his story. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he ain't gonna be able to make it in because his signal sucks. I don't know. There's a lot of people that stand beside people and don't know who they are. If I'm gonna stand beside you We're going to know your name. And once I know your name, I'm going to type it in. Because I don't trust nobody no more. And I haven't in many years.
Well, I got a bad habit of giving people the benefit of the doubt at first.
Yep.
I mean, that's me though. But I have a zero tolerance policy also. You know, you disappoint me.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh,
That's not a bad
looking
thing.
back.
It's not a bad thing.
So I look at it like I want everybody got a story. Everybody got a story. Everybody.
Right.
Will you own your story? Will you own what you did?
Well, I got to agree 100% with Amy. You know, there
Yeah, me
are a
too.
lot of good people out there. And, you know, it's easy to get suckered on YouTube with some of these people that are
It is.
bad.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
it's easy. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
everywhere. They're not just in the auditing community. You know, they're not
Right.
the auditing. They're absolutely in every single community. Even in these anti-auditor communities, there's these people. You know, that's my problem with these anti-auditors. Is like look at Chile, right? Suddenly everybody went against Chile, and after the mass haul or whatever that channel is, the auditor hating channel flagged up Chile. Then 20 new channels were born from that, of them just hating on Chile. 20 of them repeating the same bullshit over and over for fucking clicks and views. Not because they hate Chile, not because they think he did anything wrong. It's because they want a channel. So they're going to be an auditor hater. That's my problem. There's a few good people who do it, which is fine. Like Amy said, it's good that people keep people accountable. It is good. But there's fake auditors. You know what I mean? There's fake frauditors.
Yeah,
There's
see,
fake
can they?
There's fake
anti-auditors.
food toy. There's fake people. on
Yeah,
YouTube.
there's fake people. Yeah, there's fake people.
Food
But,
Yeah,
but,
Amy,
but it's
Food
all
Amy
connected to
came,
the auditors.
Amy
Why
came,
is that? Why is it
Amy
connected to
came,
auditors only? What's that about? The
Food toy.
fuck?
Amy came
Food toy.
come into it much like I
Food
did.
toy.
I was woefully naive. I thought people were like me, you know, just decent. Try to
Food
be a
toy.
good human being.
Food
But that
toy.
ain't the case on YouTube.
Can I just
I
say that I've also outed a big other side. It's called On the Other Side. She was the leader of the. I'm just trying to think of the people in there. Kick. Who else is in that group? But Virgo Triad. I was the one that outed her. So I've outed people.
I don't know who that is. I don't know, and I can't understand why I don't know you. You've been out nearly as long as PDF.
Because I've never sought to be a YouTube star. That has never been my rant.
What's your connection with?
Channels. Let me speak. There's lots of channels who, as you said, and American Amy said actually, they take lots of footage from auditors. They play a lot of it. They do long videos on it, and they interject with little things. That's never been my way. I've never wanted to make entertainment of this. I've always wanted to try and help people stay out of jail, but also try and help people stand up for their rights. And that's me. And that's why I'm agreeing so much with Port Farmer. We come from different sides of the street, but we can agree on quite a lot, I think. And your man's come back, so
I don't know if he got signal or not, though.
Anyway, Port Farmer, but thanks for having me up.
You got signal? Catch you later or not? Your mic's on. We can't talk. Catch you later. Can you talk? I don't know. Gio, can you go live, Gio? Will your phone work? I don't know where they're at. They're coming out of South Florida, so they're probably in an area where there ain't a whole lot of signals. But they're heading north on 75. But either way, you ain't got no signal, you can't talk.
Anyway, thanks, PDF, and I won't troll. I will never troll your chat, and your mods don't need to be,
Well, what you just said made sense, but I hope it's real. I've been disappointed a lot by fucking trolls and people just hating on people,
As, as,
character assassinating people without reason to. So you have
as
to
I said,
understand where I'm
as
coming
I said,
from to be to not believe you just because you're saying these things. You know, I haven't seen you around. I haven't even seen you on the English scene. This is the first time I've seen the frog.
Futo, I don't do the English scene. I don't really do the English scene. It doesn't interest me.
But I'm all over the place, though. I
PDF,
really am, you know.
PDF
Um,
Geo's asking for the link.
Actually, one person who I did have quite some conversation with, and we're quite different, but I could have good conversations with Joe Public. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, I felt I was forced. I think he was done a really bad deed in terms of what the cops done to him, and he knows that, and so and he, you know, he and I conversed, and he knows he knows me. Joe Public knows me.
Well, listen, if you're really just out there looking for the bad ones, right? And I'm surprised when you said nonsense. I'm surprised the American people knew what that meant. Actually, the very English term, right?
Yeah,
So, but if what you're saying now, if that's who you are, well, then you know,
and the
God, my,
other and the other
but
thing
that's
is
who you have to really be, though.
when people do, and PDF, you know, as well. I don't know if you know. You might know that Geo, Catch You Later, Yin Yang, and I believe Dr. Sean were in that police department about a month ago, and
Yeah.
they got chucked out of that police department, told that
I
they couldn't film in that police
yeah,
department.
I was
But this
down
is
there too. I got
going
kicked
back
out of there and
there and
trespassed
taking
out of the whole
arrests.
damn town. All right, we'll catch you later. Geo.
Hey. One thing before I give you guys your waiter. I got one thing to say to the frog. Hey, fuck you, you piece of shit. You don't even know me, and you just know me. I'm fucking Woodwood. If you lived in America, I put my Woodwood foot up your fucking ass, you piece of shit.
I know your criminal record, Geo, so I think
Not
I think we
absolutely
know who
fuck
the
off.
piece of shit is. But there you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Ask me anything you want to ask me. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Well,
I'm not
did
ashamed
you?
of myself, my actions, or my attitude. I don't have
Well,
anything to apologize for.
well,
I
they're
believe.
saying about your charges. That's what they're talking
Let's
about.
talk about that. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Back
All
in
right.
'89, when I just got out of the service, my friend from high school had been living with a woman that he kind of liked, and I would visit them. On the third visit that I came over there to visit with them, I caught the girl's uncle, this a small girl. I caught his uncle molesting her and interrupted them. And he got to a phone before I got to a phone. And I kept telling the police that this is the person that you need to come look at. So as time goes on, I got my arrest was like I walked in, fingerprinted, I walked out. That's how bad it was, because they didn't really think that I was the one perpetrating it anyway, but they weren't investigating the uncle. We went through court the whole time. I had to have a public defender because I didn't have any money. I'm not rich. I don't make anything off of YouTube. I don't have an income other than disability from Social Security. But anyway, when we went to court, I tried to spare the victim from doing all those things that a victim has to do, like going to a hospital and all the degradation that they would have sent that poor child through. And I pleaded nolo contendere in court. Didn't know then about the law what I know now. If I'd have known then what I know now, I would have fought it tooth and nail all the way to the end. I didn't really think it was a big deal because, I didn't do anything, and I knew I hadn't done anything, so I wasn't worried about it. During the trial, at the end of it, I was under the impression that they were going to find it not guilty. And anyway, it went through. I
There
think
was
they
no
found,
trial.
well, trial means, you stand in front of the judge and you tell them what's going on, and they make a decision. It wasn't even a jury by peer or anything like that. She said that she erred on the side of caution when I talked to her later. But anyway, they ended up investigating the uncle for what was going on with that poor child. And they were fixing to go and arrest him. And this was about a year and a half to close to 2 years after I had gone to trial, because I wouldn't shut up about me being innocent, that me not diddling that poor little child. And when they went to go find him or get him, he ended up getting killed. He wrecked his car up and it killed him. So they didn't have anybody else to arrest, and they never went back and vacated the charges. And I've never had a ton of money to have a lawyer go back and vacate those charges.
I'm sorry. I've heard the excuses before from
I'm
other
sorry, is that the
monsters.
frog talking
You're
or
you're
somebody that
you're
I've heard
just the
of
same
before?
as all the others.
All right. Well,
You've
hold
come
up,
up with
bro.
your story,
Hold up, bro.
and you
So you
expect others
actually
to believe.
you actually pled out in court, then, is what you're saying. You didn't go to trial. You went ahead and pled.
Yeah, I was trying to save the victim because, see, I didn't understand back then what kind of a big deal we're talking about.
Of course
You
you
know,
Yeah.
did.
back
No one
30 years
admits.
ago,
No one
Chester the
admits
child
a
molester.
sexual charge against
Is
a
he gonna let
child.
me
I'm
talk or
sorry.
not?
Hold up,
However thick
bro.
you are,
Bro, I
no
tried
one
to tell you I wasn't going to have you talking. I'm going to let him tell his story. That's what we got to do here. But go ahead, man. So you pled out to stop her from having to go through charges. See,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. You was how old? You've been in the service? You just got out of the service?
Yeah, I just had got out of the service.
Yeah.
I had a 6-year-old daughter myself. She died that year from congenital heart defect.
Damn, I'm sorry.
I've got 5 other children that are living. One of them was adopted. There's never been any of that crap going on in my family. I'm gonna tell you that
Did
right
you
now.
do any jail time
Yes,
when you pled out?
no. I got
What?
probation.
And that was before there was a sexual offenders list, the way I understand it. This was 89. Sexual offender list didn't come out to what, 93 maybe or something like that, 91.
I really don't know because I don't think along them lines. I'm sure that you know that people of that mindset all the time reoffend. They always find another victim.
You know,
To,
Rogue Nation, James Madison came out and said they told everybody not to have nothing to do with you, I think, last night on the film.
that's their right.
Yeah, no, I
They
just
have the
asked you,
right
did you
to
know
do
that?
it.
I've asked you, did you know this? I'm asking you
No,
that.
I didn't know it, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. I know in my heart where I stand, and nobody's judgment or opinion is going to change that. I don't care what people think. I am not the least little bit worried about what others think about something I may or may not have done.
Right. Well,
I
public
didn't do it. I
opinion,
know
I
I didn't
mean,
do it. I ain't worried about it.
public opinion is pretty major, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing.
I'm saying, well, you are if you got a public channel. Public opinion matters for YouTube. I mean, you're going to have public.
Yeah, I guess you got a valid point there.
That's why I was thinking public opinion matters. So you would
I know that
probably
there are
should say you
people.
do care. I mean, I would think you would say, well, I do care, but I mean,
Okay, I care. I mean, not to a great degree, but my whole thing was just showing the injustices that are going on in our country, because some of them are just flat out outrageous. The cop shop down there is just totally out there. They're totally off the wall, and they need to be brought in. They need to be reined in. But back to the real problem here, we're talking about me, not them. I know there are going to be people that will support me, that believe what I say, and there will be people that do not believe what I say. And
yeah,
I'm not going to try to change their opinion. I'll just tell you the facts of the matter is I didn't do it. I know I
yeah,
didn't.
uh-huh.
And in my mind and heart, I feel clean about it. I don't have that guilt of
Do
ruining
you
some
ever?
poor
Do
child's
you
life
know?
over.
You probably didn't keep track of the person, hopefully. I mean, unless they're a close family friend or whatever, but you wouldn't
No,
have
I didn't
known
really
what
keep
happened
track of them.
to
I
this
only heard
person.
about it.
No, I was just wondering about the person's life, what it turned out like, what happened to that little girl in her future
She,
life. I mean, it's been a long time ago, and did she end up with major depressions and things like that?
well, that's a sad story all by itself right there, because I heard probably 12 years ago, maybe or so, that she was in some sort of an accident and died. Both of her and of the uncle that was diddling her, both of them is dead.
Damn.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah,
mother
okay.
passed with the daughter in a wreck.
What state was
But
this? They're non-driving people, aren't they?
yeah, apparently so. But the the guy used to build boats or something like that. Did fiberglass work on boats or something. I didn't know him very well, and I didn't know the mom or the daughter very well at all. But the friend that I went to high school with, that's mainly who I went over to visit. We'd go shooting and hunting and fishing and stuff like that. But I never spent much time at that house where the poor child lived at,
Yeah.
and where the uncle lived on the property uh, adjacent to where he worked on his boats and that kind of thing. And when I walked in on him doing this, it there's a major amount of disgust. It's damn shocking. You just don't understand. And it takes a minute for your mind to come around to what you need to do. And at about, I don't know, 5, 6 minutes after I walked out of the house, I jumped in my car. They didn't have cell phones back then. And I went to the local store and I called the cops about this. And that, I don't usually call the cops about anything. But they went down and talked to him. And he said that I was the one that was violating this poor child. And the child didn't know better. I mean, she didn't know that she was being abused by this guy. And
Oh, so
to
you're saying she was a willing participant?
I can't speak to that. I don't know what her mindset was, but I know that she was a small child, very small. Um, and she didn't understand, I guess is the right way to say it, what this guy was
Well,
doing.
the
But when I
charge,
walked,
the document says 12 to 16-year-old. So the girl was, do you
that's a
know how
small
old she
child.
was? Do you know how old she actually was? The actual
No,
age?
I do not know.
Yeah.
I don't know. She
See,
was
because
just
there's not a whole lot of documentation available from 1989. Now, I can go to the courthouse, I can get into the archives and the records and get every single piece. I don't
yeah,
know if I want to go that far. I really don't know if I care that much, to be honest, because, like I said, if you're going to come out and tell the story, you tell it the way you are. Everybody else is going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're all going to cuss me. They're going to cuss you. They're going to cuss each other. It's the way it works out here on YouTube. I don't know what to tell you, dude. As far as having a YouTube following, people don't stand too well with someone who ends up pleading guilty to a charge like that. You know what I mean? That's a very
right.
serious freaking charge. And as far as having a community, I think you would do better if you had a YouTube webpage talking about that actual type of charge and case and how many people are charged and done this, because I'm sure it happens all the time. There's people in jail that shouldn't be there for sexual charges. But you don't see a web page out there, never. From none of you guys that have charges ever make a web page discussing that charge. It seems to me like you tried to hide it. You didn't want nobody to know. Did you really think this was never going to come out? I mean, have
Certainly
you ever,
not.
huh?
Certainly not. With the electronic age that it is today, of course it's eventually going to come out. And
Right, right.
not
So wouldn't you
not
think it'd be
saying
better to tell somebody before you gain confidence, like in people like Rogue Nation, James Madison, and then they find out later, God damn, this guy's another one with a sex charge, son of a bitch. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
I do.
wouldn't it? I don't understand.
Well, I've always been an introvert. I don't go out hang at bars, and I'm not out there partying all the time. I don't go to parties and stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, I pretty much hang around the house, always have. I just like it better. I'm not that sociable. You'll notice that on my channel, there's not that much content, even though it's been up for a little while. As far as pleading guilty to it, no, I didn't plead guilty to it. Now we need to get that kind of straightened out.
Well, isn't
After
pleading no
speaking,
contest is the same, ain't it?
no,
No.
after speaking to I don't know. Let me rephrase. After speaking to the public pretender, that's what they told me would be the best option. And the best option would have been to fight them tooth and nail all the way to the end and let the child go through the medical procedures that they would put her through. But the guy was my friend. I didn't want to, I wouldn't put his family through crap like that.
Yeah.
Maybe my mindset's wrong. I don't know. I mean, that's just the way I am, though.
But you just got out of the military. How long had you been out of the military? How long did you do in the military?
I had a 10-year contract that was reservice subject to recall up to 99.
So you did 10 years?
No, yeah, on contract. I did 2 years active duty.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of them was over in Mexico. For 6
Mexico.
months. Yeah.
What
We
the hell
did
did you
all
do over there?
about 6
What'd you
months.
do? What'd you do when you were there?
I kept an intersection clear of vehicles.
In the military? As a soldier?
Yes. Any vehicle that drove through there, we bombed the hell out of it.
Damn.
That's
Pretty wild.
that's what my mission was. There was 4 of us in the track unit we were using. I was a forward observer, and we did ground laser locator device to find the center of the intersection. We had a designated battery, and anything that drove through it, we were ordered to blow it to pieces. And
So
we
then
did.
when you, I don't understand. See, because I've been told I'm a very violent person. I'm small. I'm only about 5'10" and a half. I weigh about 160 pounds soaking wet. But if I walked in a room and found somebody having sex with some underage kid, it would take an act of Congress to get me from beating that motherfucker into no tomorrow. How could you not have went off and just start pounding that guy into tomorrow?
Did. I didn't get
Huh?
any charge for that.
Oh, well, you didn't say that part. That's why I was asking. I'm just thinking, no.
I'm proud of the whole thing, man. The whole thing is embarrassing. It is not something that I like to relive. I don't like the thought that goes behind it because it's just disgusting.
Well, I live with the results of that every day of my life because my wife was abused, and I know what happens to the person every
My
year
wife,
after that. How it gets worse and worse each year. Maybe the girl's lucky she died. I don't know because I think her life would have went through living hell. I think depression would have set in. And I don't understand how someone like you think you can come on YouTube, make a video page, and hide a fact like that, and just wait for it to come out rather than being straight out with the people because you could have gained so much more trust. I think because now I don't think there's a chance in hell that you'll be able to have a successful YouTube page. I think the courts are going to try to destroy you, especially down there in Punta Gorda. You know, that whole town is full of people that are nothing but ex-military and ex-cops. And they're going to be on your trial.
yeah,
They'll be your jury. A bunch of ex-jury and the whole town of Charlotte County, Punta Gorda, that whole area down there, there's nothing but ex-cops and military people live there.
that's why we got the hell out of there.
Yeah, but you got a stack of charges.
Out of the 20th district.
Yeah.
Don't you got a stack of charges?
Yeah, I got 3 of them. Yeah.
Felonies.
2 of them's a felony and 1 of them's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, so you're going to have to fucking plea bargain or go to trial.
Well, we're
How you
probably
gonna-
going to take this to trial because I've learned a lot about how courts work now compared to 30 years ago. And I was not the aggressor then or now. The police was the aggressor at this point. He's the one that threw me against the wall. He's the one that body slammed me, kicked me, kneed me. I never punched him. And in his report, he said that I got up off the ground, turned around, and punched him in near his firearm, nearest service weapon, city issued service weapon. And with my left hand, I punched him in his right thigh, or nearest service weapon is what the report says. My left arm, I'll give you a quick picture of it. I don't know if that shows up very good.
Looks pretty
There's a
bruised.
big ass scar right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well. That left
Oh,
arm
yeah.
can't throw a damn punch.
Damn.
It doesn't work enough to throw a punch. So that's kind of a moot point. Their video proves different. Back to why wouldn't you come out about something devastating like this? And the
Yeah.
reason is because it is embarrassing. You know, eventually, yeah, it'll come out, and I figured I'd just deal with it then, because I didn't really start this YouTube channel to try to be some big name or something like that. Mainly I think I started it because of just straight up injustice. And as a firm believer that occurs regularly and constantly, having experienced it 30 years ago or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It needs to be quashed when it can be. And yeah, when I did catch him, I beat the shit out of the guy. His brother was after me at the point when I left the house. But
There's a few people in chat saying that I'm not saying it's true. I'm just telling you maybe you need to address it. They say that you spent 6 months in county jail with 5 years probation, 2 years community control.
I don't. I had. I think I had 2 or 3 years of community control or probation. I'm not sure about that other stuff though.
So you didn't spend 6 months in county jail?
Not that I recall. No. When I went, I walked in and got fingerprinted and walked back out again. There was no bond or bail or none of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just there's so many people come out with YouTube pages, and then you find out, 6 months, a year later, that they had charges, and then they lose all their support, and they lose all their faith, they lose all their credibility, because there was like, well, they were hiding it, and then people won't support someone like that. They just won't. There's no way.
No, I
And then
understand that.
there's no
understand.
documentation in a case like this. There's no proof. I'm sure you didn't save no records. There wasn't no pictures. I mean, 1989, shit. Fuck, I can't even remember
No,
back that far.
I've diligently tried to put it behind me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just something that I just don't feel like reliving. There's a lot of hurt involved in that, a lot of animosity over our legal system because of this.
Well, that's why I said there's a lot of people. I used to know a guy that bought a piece of property, and he was married and had like 3 or 4 kids, but he was a sex offender from having sex with the same wife that he was married to for like 30 years. And he had went to jail when he was young, but that will haunt him forever. He's always going to be. And when he first moved in there, he told everybody in the neighborhood his story. And I was like, I didn't like him because he was a sex offender. I was like, God damn, he went to prison. But then once I heard the story, I was like, oh, he was 18. He got his 17-year-old girlfriend pregnant, or she had the baby when she was 17. So that means she was 16. He was probably 17 or just turned 18 and she was 16. I don't know the actual, but it was so close that the mother turned him in. He went to prison, got out, married the girl, and been with her ever since. And I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot of cases like that. But this guy, when he moved into the neighborhood, he went and told everybody. He went and knocked on everybody's door and told his story. And to me, that gained respect. Whereas if I would have found out later, I wouldn't. I would have, and I would have been a friend with him at first, and then I found out later I would have lost respect. And that's what I don't understand. How come there's so many people come out here and you did the same thing? It's like you tried to hide it. You was hoping nobody would find out.
No, yeah, of course you would hope nobody would find out. It's an embarrassing situation all the way around the block. One thing I can say though is that, yeah, my wife was abused when she was younger, and she has been with me for 37 or 8 years. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, she would not have anything to do with me
And
if
you
that.
have children, and you've never been accused of anything like that by anybody ever since. Because
That's
I
correct.
mean, and to me that holds water some. I mean, there's a lot of cases that
I have
people
God's
didn't get a
given me
just
three
case.
beautiful. Hey, God's given me three beautiful girls, and He took one of them back. He's also given me three sons. One of them was my wife through a different marriage. Her ex-husband was a pretty severe drunk and very abusive, and she couldn't remain married to him. And I got lucky and found her, and she's been with me ever since because she knows my mindset. That's the real person that I care the most to please.
Yeah.
Um, she believes in me, and she knows where I stand on that kind of thing. So, like I said, haters are going to hate. People that are forgiving or it's a serious subject. It's a very taboo subject. It's a damaging subject for the victim. Um, I imagine if the child had lived, she probably would have had some serious problems in her mind from some of the garbage that she was subjected to, probably subjected to. So
Yeah,
that
and
that
that's the person I look at.
that shit hurts.
I always wonder what happens to the victims because I live with a survivor, and it's rough.
Yeah, I live with a survivor too, and I can guarantee you, beyond any shadow of a doubt, this woman is very religious, very Christian, God oriented, and she would not have stayed with me if she thought for a moment that this garbage was actually true.
And she knew about this case.
Yes, she's known about it from the beginning. She knows the facts that I didn't harm the child. I didn't never really actually physically came in contact with it. She's I only found out the information that he died. The uncle died probably about, like I say, maybe 10 years or so ago, and I don't know the exact time that the the girl died, but I just heard my wife told me that there had been a car wreck and that her and her mom had been killed. So, but
Dang.
I've tried a couple of times to try to get the charges picked up, lifted, removed, or things like that. But it takes a lawyer, it takes a lot of money, and it takes knowledge on how to go about doing that. And I'm not there yet. If I can ever learn enough about court procedures and this kind of thing, then I'll make an attempt at it myself to have it removed. But up until that point, it's a stigma that you live with. So the YouTube community, whether they believe my side of it or not, you know, make your own decisions, people. Do not let somebody sway you into thinking some way that you're not comfortable with. If you want to hate me, hey, I got big shoulders. Hate away. If you want to, if you would like to make me the object of your discussion, that's fine too. I don't mind. But myself, the person that I have to deal with every day, I'm clear over it. I'm clean over it. I don't have the nagging guilt of being some sexual predator or any kind of crap like that. What do you? I got
Well,
to
like I
hand it.
say,
One thing more I need to say. Um, we need to get home, but um, Sean and Gio stayed throughout the ordeal, and others in the community did make the effort to help out, and I really want to thank them for that. No matter what you think of me, right? No matter what you think of me, do not lump Sean, Dr. Sean Berry, or Geo, or anybody else into my plate of greens. They stood up. They did not leave a man behind, no matter what. No matter what was flying about, rumor wise or fact wise, both of these two stood up and were there when it needed to be counted on. They stayed in Chuck Bronson's where was y'all at?
Driveway.
Yeah, in his driveway, and stayed
Yeah, Dr.
overnight.
Sean, good people. I know Dr. Sean. I've met him a bunch of times. He's a good guy. I like Dr.
Yeah,
Sean a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
we Florida
I
owners are good.
I know they were collecting money for you last night. I don't know if anybody sent it your way or not. They were,
Well, we were directed to Chuck Bronson's website, so
yeah,
and a lot of had to go to. Well, we got Ying Yang out. Fortunately, his boss was able to help with the. But
yeah.
anyway, we got everything accomplished in the end here. So he's out.
Heck yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Hey, like I say, man, the story's important. Just be honest. That's the main thing I say about YouTube. Don't lie. Be
right.
honest. If you
Well,
fucking are honest, well, fuck, honesty. You can't change honesty. You can't change the story. You don't have to remember shit. You just be honest. Tell the
right.
truth. And then
The only
let the pieces
change,
fall where they may. People are going to hate you. You got a bunch of people saying, they don't want nothing to do with you, whatever. Well, that's their deal.
yes, sir,
What you do with your life, you have to live with. I have to live with what I
exactly.
do.
So,
And everybody else has to do what they do. As far as frauditors, there's no such thing, because that means there's a certain way to do something. That means there's a rule, and then you have to follow it, which that isn't freedom. So there's no possible way anybody can be a frauditor. It's an
yeah,
oxymoron. It can't be. It's impossible.
and salvation is an individual thing between a person and the Lord. We can all judge, but salvation is an individual thing.
Yep.
It's a personal thing between the person and the Lord.
Yep. So hey, like I say, I gotta do what I gotta do in life. I'm an AC guy. That's what I do. Air conditioning work. I sweat. I'll
I'm a
pick up the
master
camera.
welder for nuclear plants, or I was until 2008 when I couldn't work anymore.
Well, you probably gonna have a lot of people fucking with you.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened in your story, in your case, whether what you told us is true or not. I don't know any of that.
easy
I
out.
don't see. I would have never pled guilty to anything, but I was raised in the city young, and I learned about the law really, really young. So
I never had contact with the law at all in any way, shape, or form before that incident. And my dad is a mechanical engineer that worked at Nukes. And we were always raised that you trust Mr. Policeman. He's there to help you.
so
He's
you're a
there to get
convicted
the
felon?
criminal.
You're a convicted felon like me? I'm a convicted felon for growing a
Absolutely.
plant.
I'm
Yeah,
a convicted felon
I grew
for
plants in a farming community.
I'm a convicted felon for cocaine.
Oh, cocaine?
Yeah.
All around that brain.
I don't know if it was before or after the lewd charge. I don't even know what their timeline is on that. Haven't got a clue. Have to
You
go
don't
back and look at it and check it out.
you don't know when your cocaine charge was?
Well, I know it was about the same time in it, but I don't know, definitively when it was. I know it was probably in '89,
Yeah.
and that was a sting operation. We rolled up to. I'm guilty of it. We rolled up to get some coke, and it turned out we was buying from a cop. He threw it in the car, and they bailed out of the van and piled in there, and that was it.
All over, huh?
All over with. Done deal.
And that was
So,
in '89 in Florida.
yep. You're more than
Then
welcome to
Tampa.
look it up. Look it all up, man. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Oh no,
It's
I don't care.
embarrassing. I prefer that it did not come out, but
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, it's not something I can hide. Damn, all you got to do is go repress the records.
That's your story, man. You got to tell it, bud. That's the best I could tell you to do for yourself is tell your story, be who you are. That's all I
Yep.
can be. You know, I mean, the ones that hide it, they're the ones that it comes out, and then they wish they'd have said it earlier. I mean, something that I say, you know what, I was charged for this or that or this or that. I mean, I've never heard nobody come out and say that. I'm just, except for me, when I first came out, I told everybody, yeah, I got busted for growing $400,000 worth of weed. Yeah, that's me. I'm that guy. But that's nothing I ever done.
Well,
Cannabis.
doing getting busted for cannabis and getting busted for kitty diddling's a lot different.
Well, I'm still a felon, right?
Same here. No firearms.
Hey, you're not supposed to have a firearm, but if you're a felon, that means you don't follow the law. So, fuck.
I don't
What do
know.
they expect?
No, I ain't got no firearm.
You still
Me
have
neither.
black powder.
Me neither.
I don't know. I didn't never want to take a chance on it. I never.
Oh, black powder. There's some nice black powder firearms.
Yeah, but I just
Well, you know,
I wouldn't want to risk my freedom over that kind of stuff. So I didn't. I just don't deal with it. Now I can catch up pretty good with a bow and arrow. I can hit pretty good with that. I don't miss.
well, you might just spend some time learning the law here in the next few months and learning how to
Probably
file your case. Get your case going. Are you going to be able to afford an attorney, or are you going to have a public defender?
Right now, I got a public pretender, and I think the wisest action to do for the whole thing is to immediately file a federal civil suit of rights violations against the
I
city
wouldn't talk
council.
about the case. I wouldn't talk about the case on open court. I would
Well,
discuss
they know
things
it's
maybe
going to happen anyway.
yeah. Well, you don't want to give them heads up. You want to
Nah.
just do it.
Thanks for the info. I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah. Don't show your whole card. Don't show your ace in the hole. In my case, first thing I'd be doing is going to the goddamn emergency room and to the mental health doctor saying, man, they done fucked my head all up because I got fucked up watching you guys get bounced around.
Yeah, I'm definitely going straight over to the VA. Probably get some sleep and some food, and
Because you're
then
probably traumatized and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I know I am. Emotionally, physically, it takes a toll. One of the things that manages to keep you squared away and keep your mental shit together is knowing that you have people out there that will do what's necessary, wait on you to get out, and that kind of stuff. At no point in time when I was inside did I doubt for a minute that Dr. Sean Berry and Geo had left. I thought that they were probably around somewhere. I didn't know where. And then when we finally got the bail paid up, somebody came up and said, "You have a ride." So I knew at that point that they probably had spent the night in a parking lot somewhere or got the motel room or something and stayed overnight. So I can't talk highly enough about how they handled themselves in the situation.
Yep, they're good people, man. Good people.
Yep. Yin Yang News also was there. You know, he picked up a radio and handed it to the cop because the Mongo Smash, the guy that jumped me, must have dropped his radio or something. And then I heard them, talking about it when I was in the holding area where there were 8 or 9 of them standing around. And I was a little bit worried about, was the guy going to attack me again? And they were discussing whether or not they should go chase him down. And if he's still there, we'll go get him. And if he's not, then don't worry about it. And that's one of the things I heard from them. So,
Yeah.
but the read of the report that the detective wrote out cannot even come close to the video that they will not let us have. They've already been asked for that video and flat out categorically been denied. period. So the only way we're going to get it is either on Discovery or through federal orders or something.
Well, yeah, they're not going to give you anything that's an open case.
Well, as an open case, me being the defendant, I can request it on Discovery and they should make it available.
Yeah.
Supposed to be by law, but every request we have put in to them. Yeah. He's right. We need to get a change of venue, but that might be a little difficult. Because
it's a small case. That's meaningless.
It's not a small case. It's a pretty big case, if you ask me. Assaulting an officer is a big deal.
No, big cases.
And,
Big cases are murder cases and shit. I'm talking about a big case like that.
oh, okay.
I mean, not that it's a big case is something that would be national headlines and shit. You know what I
High
mean?
profile murder case.
Yeah, some high profile big case, but your case isn't that big. But like I say, man, I don't know. You was 27 years old and you fled out and some shit like that, dude. You'd have to beat me to death. There's no way in hell I'd plead out to some shit like that. I don't know where you guys. You're as old as me, dude. You should have known this shit.
Hindsight's 2020, ain't it?
Yeah, you was in the military too. Damn.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020, man. That's all I can tell you.
It's hard to face. It's hard to watch. It's hard to swallow. I mean, every single person that comes out here with a charge is automatically guilty on YouTube. With public opinion, you're guilty.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
I got a question. When'd you enlist?
Oh God.
Come on, you could wrap that off of
80, June 87, I think. In 87. Positive about the month. You got to remember, I've had a traumatic brain injury between then and now, so having a memory is not something that works for me. My memories are damaged. I don't have recall. If we lose you, we're driving. Sean's headed on back to the house. He started sitting here and we're ready to go.
All right, Dr. Sean. My man, Dr. Sean. I like Dr. Sean. He's good people. Be safe, man. Y'all travel safe, Dr. Sean.
Okay,
y'all
thank you very much.
Up.
Thank you for having me.
All right, y'all. Take care, man. And like I said, just be you. Be honest. That's all we can be as a group.
That's right.
Be yourself and be honest. They like you to don't.
Better to be honest and tell the same story than to be dishonest and not tell the same story.
Okay, they're gonna catch you in a lie out here. You lie, motherfucker gonna get you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Because I ain't got a memory to remember the lie. If you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about that lie. That's right. If you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about lies.
Well, you got a bunch of people hating you and a bunch of people probably questioning. So I'm glad you come out and told your story, man. I appreciate you for doing that. That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask.
That's all we can do. All right, man. I'll get off the phone and thanks for having me on.
Y'all travel safe. Keep an eye out for the deer.
Here.
Take care, Gio. Thanks, Gio.
Unless you lose him.
I can't understand.
I know. No, I love him. I want to meet him. I want to hold his hand.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Freedom, baby. Freedom.
Take him for a boat ride. We go for a boat ride. GSA, take him for a boat ride.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just like the song said.
All right, you have a good one there, mother.
Take care, Gio. Y'all be safe.
Yeah, we'll get home one day.
Come up here and go fishing one day.
There you go.
You know?
I don't know what's true and what isn't, but respect to you, PDF, for bringing him up. Letting him have his side of the story. I think that's important. You were right.
Well, people gonna believe, people ain't. But you can't make your mind up if you don't have any evidence, any proof, or any story to make your mind up about. I mean, you got to know some facts to go on, a little bit like that, and then it's up to everyone to decide what they want to do with their life, so to speak. I don't know.
Well,
I ain't no different.
Character assassination gets clicks and views, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not.
Oh yeah, it don't matter if it's true or not in a lot of cases, but in a lot of cases it does, because to me, that's what it's all about. There's nothing about community. There's a matter of truth and what's right, and right doesn't mean nice.
Right? No, I meant. Yeah, but I meant for the people doing the character assassination. It doesn't matter to them if it's true or not. They're just going to get the clicks and views for trying to assassinate somebody. Is what I meant.
Yeah, and that's what we see over and over out here. So I just try to get to the truth, man. Just show the truth. Don't lie.
Yeah.
If you lie, we're gonna bring it back on you eventually.
Yeah. You proved there's two sides to his story. Now, I still don't know. I'm not very good at knowing if he told the truth or not. I don't know. I have to say I don't know.
No one does with him. And if everybody around there died, well, then there's only one story. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cam the Caveman. How's it going, buddy?
I believe everybody should have a chance to tell their story. Yes, I don't know. Then you can decide. You can make up your mind. You can take your facts that you think you know them and put them together, and you get to live your life. That's called freedom. It's like when they say frauditor. How can there be a frauditor unless there's a certain way to do it?
Right.
And if there's a certain way to do it, then that's not freedom, is it? That means you're doing it a certain way.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, if somebody's in it just to get, again, clicks and views, they see something popular on YouTube, they want a YouTube channel, they decide, oh, okay, tomorrow I'll be a First Amendment auditor. Right? Are they real? Are they not real? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I say good luck to them. Not many
Isn't
people
that freedom?
Make a living on YouTube.
Yeah, sure. So. It is freedom. It is freedom. But is it real? Are they real auditors?
Are they free?
What's a real auditor?
Yeah.
What's a real one? Where is it a licensed trade?
Somebody who wants to audit. Somebody who wants to audit the government, not somebody who wants a YouTube channel and click review. Somebody who wants to audit the government. I think that's a real auditor.
Could I word it different and just say someone who wants to stand up for freedom and do whatever they want to do, their choice? So there cannot be a way to do it, because that's taking freedom away.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But if somebody's doing it for a YouTube channel, are they auditors? Sure, in a way, because they've just decided to audit. But
they're capitalistic auditors.
That's what I mean. Yeah, capitalistic auditors or auditors who really believe in people's rights. Like rights hit me in my core of my being.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's really not rights, it's guarantees. You're saying the word wrong. Take the word rights out of your vocabulary and put the word guarantee in it.
Yeah. Well, it is guaranteed though.
Yeah, you're guaranteed. Huh?
I didn't know there were any guarantees in life.
Like Cubs
the guarantees what the government's not going to do to you. People say, I have my rights, but you don't have rights. You just have a guarantee. And your guarantee is just your slave ownership paper that the government has over your head called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That means they own you. They own every grain of sand, every bug, every blade of grass, from coast to shining fucking sea to sea. So that's slave papers. The Constitution is a slave paper.
What if they want the Constitution, though?
It's your interpretation.
Sorry.
I think you'd have many scholars disagree with you on that one.
Well,
Like,
how? Because take the Constitution away, and we have nobody owns us or can tell us what to do.
no, but they can just show you in jail wherever they want because they don't like the shirt you're wearing. Into jail, you've no
They already
right.
do that. They already do that. It's not a right. It's a guarantee. We guarantee that we're not going to put you in jail for, and we're going to give you. We guarantee your free choice of religion. We guarantee your freedom of speech. We guarantee your right to fucking film your government, but we're not going to let you do it. We guarantee you free press. Where's your press pass? No, it's a guarantee. It's not a right.
Right. I see where you're going from.
But they don't go by it. So even if it was a right, they're not following it. You don't get it. They say you do, but you don't.
Why is there so much distortion? There's loads of this the whole night. Different people
It's
are.
you.
Is it me? Is it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me mute and see what happens. Tell
All
me
right.
what's there. You'll have to
All
talk though.
All right, get Commander to talk. Talk, Commander.
Yo, hey.
She's not doing it now, is it?
Holy crap! It is me.
I
I thought it
Not
was
doing
all
it
you
now.
guys. Shit.
It's not doing it now.
That is weird as hell.
No. So what does everybody in the chat think? Are y'all going to persecute the dude? Is he going to be hung, drawed, and quartered? Rogue Nation said they don't want to undo with him. Oh, Jane Madison, Rogue Nation said they don't want nothing to do with Catch. What was his name? Catch you later.
I've kind of already formed my opinion, but you know,
Yeah.
that's just mine.
Yeah. Well, I don't want nobody to answer me, but I'm sure everybody else does.
You know.
Well, the chat was 50-50 when he was on speaking, and when I was reading it, like there was a few who were adamantly that he's innocent, and there was a few that were adamant that he's guilty.
Well, yeah, he pled guilty.
Well,
Right.
I'm confused.
I think you all know how my feelings are on plea deals, especially
Yeah.
how old was he? 18. Some
No,
public.
he was in his 20s.
He
All
was
right.
27 years old.
Some
My
public.
confusion comes in because, like I said, I worked with sex offenders. I have never met a sex offender who said he walked in on somebody committing an act of violence like that against a child and did nothing.
Right. Yeah. Even PDF brought it up. That PDF would have
I
knocked
touched on that.
anybody would have knocked the shit out of the guy. If you seen that happening, you're going to jump in and fucking stop the guy. Guaranteed.
But the part about he got to the phone first.
Yeah, see, there's just a
Who
lot of
cares?
illogical things in his
Yeah.
account. And there was a lot of inconsistencies in other things I heard that shot huge red flags.
Exactly.
And
There was
I'm
a
not
couple of
going
red
to
flags.
elaborate
Yeah.
on,
I agree. I agree. The red flag.
but you know, you can't bullshit me on certain things.
Agree,
And
Commander.
I heard some bullshit. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I heard a bunch of it.
but
Oh.
I know for a fact is bullshit.
Hey, James Madison. James Madison's in the chat, guys.
Oh, I
James-
didn't know who that was. James, I didn't know who he was. I was afraid of you.
James says he said he doesn't remember if his cocaine charge was before or after the offense. Come on now, and he just got
But
out
here-
of the country.
Here's
yeah.
the thing on that, Food Toy. He already covered that with the, well, I've had a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
So I can't remember everything.
That's
You know,
very
right
convenient.
there, me, you know.
Yeah, I agree. It's very convenient.
I want to see the doctor's report on that.
Chuck, what's up?
I hear that so often.
What's
from
up?
people.
Chuck's here,
Hey.
y'all.
How's
Hey,
it going?
Chucky.
What's going on?
How you
Here-
doing, Chuck?
Here's one thing, man. For me, twice in the last month, I was convicted of crimes that I didn't commit.
Yes.
Twice in this past fucking month.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's hard for me to judge because I just, you know, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, no, I agree. And there's public defenders and the
Yeah.
talking people into taking plea deals. All that's all they do. They don't do anything else.
That's why I want everybody to tell their story. I mean, god dang, it's just nothing wrong with listening to someone talk. And then
Right.
something that happened so many years ago, we know things were a lot weirder back then. And when it comes to this type of charge, it was a lot of weird shit, and it still is and got worse. But still, yeah, when you're convicted of charges, they violate the law. They break the law to get to catch you breaking the law, kind of like they did with me.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
system's crooked. You can't go by what the system says
Yeah.
anymore. So,
100%, 100%. The video today by James Freeman, you
All
see the
right.
cop on his body camera saying, "The dog bit me. The dog bit me," and the dog didn't bite anybody. You can see it on the body
I,
camera. The dog was just passive.
I get it, Futoy, but let me tell you what, there shouldn't be a guy on this panel right now that would not that is if be stand to be accused of something he didn't do, as far as like molesting a kid. I'm sorry.
I'm going
I
off. Somebody's
I
getting
would
hurt.
saying I'm not guilty. I'd
Yeah,
take that
I
the
wouldn't.
whole
I would.
in
Yeah, I
no
wouldn't
way
be for
ever.
anything.
So,
Not
oh,
even.
okay, punish me. I'm not saying I'm guilty, but punish me. No, I'm gonna, if I didn't do a crime, I ain't taking the rap for it. You know, I'm not laying down and just gonna let them say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I plead no contest." Fuck that shit. And I don't
Yeah,
care
fuck
if it's
that.
my best friend's daughter. I'm saying you take her to the frickin' hospital right now and have a rape kit done on her.
Well, see,
Right.
that's where I lost. That's where
Why did they
he
do that?
lost me at right there. He
Well, why
lost
didn't they
me.
do that? Well,
Well,
why did they not do that? Sorry, Miss B, go ahead.
he lost me when he said he was protecting the girl from going through uh medical problems. Why would that bother you? That if you wasn't the one that did it, if
Yeah,
you didn't do nothing to this child, why would you talk? Well, I just didn't want the child to go through any type of, medical procedures and stuff. The child should have went through the medical procedures
Wait,
anyway because she
anyway,
had been assaulted. She was
yeah,
already the charges was already done.
yeah,
In
yeah.
1980s, they didn't have DNA at the time. There was no DNA to prove nothing. But I just found his story. Like I said, I worked with sex offenders, and only 5% of them I saw fight tooth and nail, and they didn't do it, and they never once said they did it. Nobody pleads guilty to crimes like that and then say, "Well, I just did it to protect the child." You didn't
Yeah,
do it to protect the child. Nobody does. Remember this about going to prison and plea bargaining and all that other bull crap. Whenever you fall for any of that mess, you fall for that mess to benefit yourself. Nobody but yourself. Because when you go in the courtroom, you go alone. I don't give a damn how many people you go to jail with, you go alone in that courtroom.
yeah, it's a good point.
Rogue
Major League
Nation.
also,
What up,
Rogue,
Rogue?
What's going on, guys?
how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Hey, Miss B, you know what? There are some other people in the courtroom, though. No, but what she's saying is exactly right, and I kind of feel the same way. Um, and I'm putting myself in the position, but there's no way in hell that I would plead guilty to anything that I never did, especially a crime like that, which I know would mar my life for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I mean, I just don't see a rational person doing that. And again, maybe it's a timeline thing. Maybe he had just recently got his head trauma or sniffed cocaine or whatever it was that he was doing. Um, but yeah, I don't see that story playing out anyway, shape or form. And I also kind of agree with Chuck that the system is messed up, and that innocent people do get convicted all the time.
right.
Um, but I think it's safe to say that even back then there was you know a, a thing where these kind of crimes were being reported, and people knew about them, and I think people should conduct themselves accordingly. You know what I mean? Like, for a perfect example, I have two little girls myself. One's 14, one's 9. Sometimes they have their friends come over and spend the night with them. So I always make sure that both of my girls are in the room with them. I'm never alone with this young friend of theirs. When we take them home, I got my girls with me, so there can never be any kind of accusation of improper behavior. You know, um, and I do that because I realize, some people, for whatever reason, they may hate you, and
Yep.
maybe they decide to, tell somebody something that, that this is possible. This has happened numerous times to numerous people. And it's because they allowed themselves an opportunity there for that allegation to kind of make sense, Um, and again, we have to be careful in everything we do. I think we get kind of lazy daisical and meandering and just thinking, oh, life's life, and I'll roll with the punches as it comes, and then all of a sudden it's raining down on you, and you're looking at charges, and again, maybe you're innocent, but you've done nothing in any way, shape, or form, and in which to protect yourself. Like Mr. Bronson's got numerous cameras all in his car. It's catching his speed. It's catching his turn signals. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Mr. Bronson has made it so that there is no way in any possible outcome could he be manipulated or fucked over by the police while he's driving his vehicle. And again, that's something that we as people, we need to look to kind of do to ourselves. We can't not set up, I guess you could say, a defense perimeter and then act shocked when the defenses are overrun and we're all of a sudden in the hole 6 feet down, because we failed to adequately plan or adequately conduct our lives in a way that such we didn't need a plan, I guess you could say. But I mean, as far as my stance on that, I don't have time for people convicted of those crimes, or even basically even accused of those crimes. I mean, I'm like I said, I've got two small girls, and I don't even want to think about people like that. You know what I mean? Much less have them around me. Whether you're innocent or you're not, I'm gonna pass. It's gonna be a hard
Yeah,
pass for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna
exactly.
worry about it. I'm not gonna spend any nights worrying about if my buddy is or if he isn't. You're not gonna be my buddy. You know
No.
what I mean? I've got plenty of other buddies, and they all, keep them hands and their Peters to themselves. So
If you weren't strong enough to stand up and fight the case all the way to the guilty fucking verdict, you ain't very strong, are you?
no,
You're
no,
not
and
very strong willed. So if you're not very
no,
strong willed, you're not picking the right choices. And if you're not going to pick the right choices and you have a record of that, I really don't need you standing next to me.
Well, there's no
right.
See
need to
what
make
I'm
a
saying?
YouTube channel, right? There's no need to make a YouTube channel. It's going to be found out.
Well, I
These
need
people,
fighters with me. I need people that'll stand up and fight to the end.
You
That's the
know
kind of
what?
people I hang out with. That's the kind of
He
people I associate with. Huh?
he would have been better off making a channel as a watchdog channel, because nobody knows anything about those guys hardly.
That's, well, that's what I
right?
mean. They never come out and say, "Hey, I've been charged." I mean, to me, that's the first thing they should do, because now he's lost his credibility and people have lost faith because, well, if you hide that, that means you're hiding things. And I'm an open book. I don't hide shit. You know what I mean? I'm some poor broke son bitch lives in the woods, been busted for weed. I mean, I'm a real terrible person. But I ain't nothing else. You know what I mean? But yet they want to make up stories. They got how many videos about me out here now? Hundreds. I don't think any of y'all got as many videos as they hate Jews as much as they do me, but I don't hide shit. How in the hell does he expect to hide things? Any of these people out here?
Right.
You can't. So
No,
none of them come out and tell the story from the beginning, where if he would have done that, he might have had a better chance. Now, he's not going to get no support on YouTube.
yeah, yeah,
Not
and
that I
it's, and again, each person is their own, but I just don't have time for that in my life. Just like drama and a whole bunch of other stuff. I try to keep busy, being
You fucking
productive.
live drama, motherfucker. You fucking go from state to state getting arrested. You don't like drama? What the fuck? What do you
Man,
call drama? What do you call drama? I call drama having to go to court and shit. That's some serious drama to me, but I don't know.
no, that ain't drama. That's a day's. That's a hard
The
day's
day's
work.
pay.
Yeah,
That
shit.
ain't nothing for Rogue. That ain't
Yeah,
nothing.
that ain't nothing, man. I'm
The day's
talking.
pay to
I'm
me is
talking.
changing
I'm
out an
talking
air
like
conditioner.
Dallas J.R. Ewing drama. You know what I mean?
That shit's a day's pay to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Uh,
Um,
I get to do that from home too, so y'all got to go out to do your shit. I can sit
yeah.
here and get all the drama I need before 5 o'clock in the morning.
But Rogue, I was just saying to PDF, like I don't know if that guy was real or not real. I feel he didn't really put up a good case for himself. But on saying that, I think it was pretty decent for PDF to let him come up and have his say. You know,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody, deserves a chance to speak,
right?
guilty or not. Um, that's kind of what sets us apart from other places where you don't get a chance to speak. You just get shot in the head or something, on the side of the
Right.
road by a military police guy in North Korea or something. But I mean, still at the end of the day, like I said, it's just for me, it's a hard pass. Like I
Right.
said, I already have a lot of buddies, and I don't get to spend enough time with them as it is. So I don't need to pick up extra buddies that I don't know or that I'm worried about or that I can't trust. You know what I mean? It's also
Yeah.
a kind of
I,
a trust factor. I mean, like PDF said, he came out, he said he was a felon. Everybody's known I was a felon since the beginning, and my record's out there. It's been out there. Um,
right.
so
But you're on the road as well. You're working. You're doing your thing. I mean, I don't see you. I don't know if you do or not, but I don't see you having time to go around vetting every other auditor. You know.
no, and quite frankly, I shouldn't. So I've talked it over with a buddy of mine, and I decided, hey, I'm going to go solo from now on, or I'm going to go with somebody I already know, like James or Chuck or Porter Farmer. Someone that has already been vetted by the community, someone that's been vetted by me, and somebody that shares the same goals and values and direction in life that I want to portray and do. So,
Right.
what's up with you, James?
Oh, nothing. I was just listening to all that there, and Rogue knows me personally. So, same thing, man. It's just I was listening to this and saw this, and someone shared Frog's thing to me, and I was just like, God, I have to. Why do we have to have? I mean, it's not a mark on us. It's everybody's an individual. I mean, everybody knows that Florida Highway Patrol had a cop that was doing the pedo stuff, and I don't judge cops differently or based off of him. They're all bastards. So, long story short, yeah, I just can't get behind it either, man. That's why I told Sean today. I was like, man, I distance yourself from this. I don't know if you want to be involved. I don't know his story, but I've done enough interviews. I've only done 2 sexual assault interviews, and I mean, I didn't like it, but that's just him. He's got his story. No one else is around. They're all dead. It's the only unfortunate thing.
Yep.
I just put out a story about a police captain in the Volusia County Sheriff's Office that was putting ice cubes in a girl that was 15 years old, his neighbor that he watched and took on trips. So I don't like that stuff.
Do you have that term out there in America, grooming, where an older
Yes.
guy or woman, I guess, would groom a child?
Yeah.
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 They're
See,
the predators.
I pled no contest to driving with no motorcycle endorsement because I was letting the court make the decision, and I knew what I was doing. I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing at the time because I read up on it, learned about it. No contest. You let the courts take over the decision and give you anything and everything they want to. I would never
You're
plead
throwing
no
your
contest.
case upon the mercy of the court, though, also. It's saying, hey, I will plead out upon the mercy of the court. And,
Yes.
and you're asking for leniency in order to not fight it in court. So you're saying, and that's nolo contende, or however you want to say it. But it's not saying, to persecute me. It's saying, show me mercy.
Right.
That's what it is.
if you look at the sentencings, whether it's true or not, let's go off the truth. It said it was what, 6 months in jail and then 5 years probation, I think it was.
Yeah, he said he don't remember the 6 months in jail. I think I'd have remembered that.
I would remember it too. I remember that.
You remember that. No matter how fucking memory is, you remember 6 months of fucking jail, no matter what.
Yeah. I remember 6 months of the shitty job that I worked, you know what I mean? So so what I was thinking with that is that nowadays, what would happen? Let's say something. We'll go off of a 16-year-old. You got a 27-year-old man doing a 16-year-old. What would happen in today's society with that girl right now? What would happen in the courts?
Oh yeah, they would have persecuted him.
Statutory rape.
Right. But they don't even know what he's
city.
doing. He could have been touching her. He could have been, spanking one right in front of her. I don't know. No one knows what was alleged. That's the problem. But my question was, and I put it in the chat, is how did this guy just all of a sudden come in? Even back in 90s when I would go to my friend's house and I was probably, whatever age, 12, 13, 14. I didn't just go walk in their door. I know he's 27, but how did he just walk in? Back in the day, we'd call like, hey, what are you doing, man? Or you'd show up and be like, hey, you busy? You want to hang out? But you don't just walk into someone's house, would you?
Right. That's a fucking good point. Jesus.
Well,
so
he said he was
walk into somebody's house.
Well, he said he was the buddy. He was buddies with the family. So I mean, I don't know.
Knock the door.
No, well, I don't know. Some of my good buddies, I just walk right in their damn house, But these are guys, of course, that I've known 20 years. Okay, so he hasn't known this guy 20 years. He's only 27. But
check it out, Rogue. He said he walked in during the act, whatever the act was. I'll tell you what, that guy wouldn't have been able to get to a phone before me because he wouldn't be able to talk.
No.
But he
care if it's your uncle, whoever.
But he did say he attacked him. So if he attacked him and then as they were struggling, he made it to the phone first. What?
Yeah, and here's the flip side of it. Now I've done law enforcement. I've been around this crap. I got recently charged with threatening to blow up a building and threatened to deal with nurses in the back and the parking lot when they get off of work. That was my charge. You know what I told my attorney? I said, I'm going to spin my ass in jail. I am not pleading anything but not guilty. I said, I'll go to jail for this. I'm not doing this. And you know what? It was dismissed. I had a video of it and things like that. They knew it wasn't legit. Back then, you don't have that stuff. You have his word against hers. You also have a guy that's coming out of the military that has been mentally abused. If you've been in the military, I'm sure you know. Comes out, starts doing cocaine, according to his charge and what he said he was arrested for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a good situation. That's not a good pillar of society. I mean, we've all been charged with crimes. I think if I look at the chat here, I know PDF has, I have, Chuck has, and I don't know about the other.
Never been arrested.
Who hasn't been arrested?
That was me. I was joking.
No, I really haven't. I don't even have. I honestly, God, people probably don't believe it, but I don't even have parking tickets. I don't even have a record.
Oh my God, who is this guy even?
Yeah,
he's from Ireland.
Maybe shallow life. Like
he's like James Bond.
I know. I feel like I should go out and commit a crime just so I can have a record.
Well, here's what you do. You get you a work visa. You come over here to Florida. Rogue and I will put you out there and string you up to the police.
Just go hang out with Chuck. Chuck will get you arrested for sure.
Oh yeah, he will.
Come to Florida.
All right. I'm coming.
So on one more note, I have a guy that went into the DeLand Police Department the other day, and after this, I started thinking to myself, and I think Rogue even talked about it here just briefly. I said to this guy, I said, "What skeletons do you have in your closet?" I told him, and I said, "Are you a felon? You have any sex offenses?" And he's like, "I'm a convicted felon. That's it." Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
You say, yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm gonna have to do from here on out. If I share someone's story, I don't want to share a pedo's. Not saying that this guy is. I'm not using that term for him. However, I'm not going to share someone that using that term as on my story, no matter how bad the cops beat him, because that's what society unfortunately wants anyway.
Yeah.
So I just got
That's what you'll get in the pen. If you go to the pen with that kind of charge, that's exactly what you'll get.
yeah.
I remember there was an auditor that said, I think it was Canadian auditor. I'm not 100% sure, but he was on one of the Canadian auditors panels, and he said he saw a load of cops outside a house, and he went and he was like, right, I'm going to film the cops, and they were like, what are you doing? He says, I'm here to keep you accountable, filming you. The cop says, this is a house where convicted pedophiles are using this address to get off to somehow not have to tell the people in the neighborhood that they are sex offenders or something.
Right.
They were using the house for something to hide their crimes, right?
Yeah.
The guy said, "Okay," picked up his camera and went, "Okay, go ahead," and just went home.
All right, check it out. Here's from the other side of the fence. They would say, well, and this will catch you later, dude would probably say, well, so that means everybody gets their rights but him?
What?
As far as him having, getting.
Yeah, that's
his
under.
rights.
Yeah, and he waived his rights by pleading no contest.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's how you lost your rights. But
Oh, I mean, it's right to freedom, though. It's freedom rights. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, I'm not hanging out with somebody who has them charges. The odds are they're going to catch me in the wrong mood, and it's not going to turn out well.
Well, listen, we all have the right to association and the right to not associate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that includes anybody. So,
If I had a kid, I wouldn't want them on the same block. If I knew someone had them type of charges, I would not let them in my yard. I would say, no, you just go away. Because I can't have that.
Clothing and give it to my dogs. And
don't forget back
if you ever smell it.
Yeah, don't forget back in the 80s and 70s and 80s, there's still people getting off of charges because of falsely convicted, primarily black people. That now DNA is coming out and things like that because they saved it. So you keep that in your head too.
Yeah, anything's possible, and again, if the gentleman is innocent, I wish him the best. I hope he uncovers it and the truth comes to light. But again, it's too much time out of my day to even worry about it. I've got kids. I'm not going to spend the time worrying about it. I'm just going to keep on with my life and hang out with my buddies already that I have. Or if I have to go solo somewhere, I'll go solo somewhere. I don't need somebody to go out and record with me in order to record. So, I'm cool either way. I prefer having my buddies with me because it makes it for a funner time overall. But
yeah, the collabs are good, like going out with James and Rights Crispy. I really enjoy those as well. I like your solo ones, but I also like the collabs.
Yeah, absolutely. And James has been slacking lately, so I got to get him out more, doing these audits more. But
bitch, every time I text you, I'm like, "Hey, what do you want to do tonight?" You're like, "Oh, I gotta deal with chickens. I gotta scoop the food."
He ain't lying though. Hey, these chickens are killers, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, Hebrew, do you have chickens, Rogue?
Yeah. Me and the wife.
Do they
check, Mike, check?
Do they make noise at like 6 o'clock in the morning? Because I'd love to have chickens, but not if they're going to wake me up. Like,
yeah, no, we don't have roosters, just hens. So,
and do you still get eggs with just roosters or with just hens?
Yeah.
So you don't need a rooster.
No, not unless you're trying to have more, chickens.
Oh, so you can still just get the eggs.
Mike, check.
Yeah, the American roosters, you can actually get eggs from them, and American bulls, you can get milk from too over here.
James, that's not milk. James, don't drink it. It's not milk.
Hey, Hebrew. How you doing, Hebrew Hammer?
Roger that. How's everybody doing? I got 15 minutes to the Sabbath. I just want to chime in. PDF, if you would. Rogue, James, y'all need to get my number from PDF. I need to talk with y'all on another note, another time. 14 minutes and change. The thing is, and my concern is, regardless if the guy is guilty or not, we cannot make that determination, right? We don't have the evidence before us. We don't have witnesses before us. I'm not excusing anything. I'm just saying we can't make that determination. But, and there's a very big but, that would be utilized in law, meaning that within your circle of people, your immediate circle, not your wife, but your people who you are vocating with in the same atmosphere, right? Okay. Should those people not know the intimate details of your past to a degree? As early as possible, right?
He has no obligation to tell anybody he's not in a registry.
I understand. But if you're with your friends and you're out there auditing and you're filming and you have a group of people and you're like, hey guys, I think y'all should know I'm a convicted felon. I'll give you the story, blah, 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 XYZ. You know what I mean? So that way your people know your story. The people that are riding in the car, with him knew about it from people that are 1,000 miles away. So the trust factor. I would not be able to trust that man standing next to me in battle or in a courtroom or at a protest or a petition signing. I'm sorry.
There's a responsibility.
I'm not saying the guy is guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. Not saying either way, because I don't have that type of evidence in front of me. His story is not that compelling. If I was looking at it from a prosecutor's point of view, they would have fried him. So be cautious in the circle that you keep. You really do. You have to be very observant. And most of the time, you don't even have to speak the language. All you have to do is read the mannerisms. Just wanted to chime in and let people know it's a very delicate subject. I'm not excusing the factor of it. All of us on this panel and most of us in chat would agree that the act is a crime against humanity. That's what that act is.
Right.
And we're seeing it worldwide. It's not just a case that's isolated, right? So therefore, we're all on the same P's and Q's. Now, mind you, I have never been married and I have not any children. That I know of for sure, okay? So at the same time, I have taken my brothers and sisters and helped raise their children and grandchildren. I've raised lots of children. We have to nurture our future, folks. And these people that you cannot have somebody next to you you cannot trust. Let me just boil it down. So we're probably, 12 minutes and change. I don't want to take everybody's time up. PDF, pass my number to him. I do need to speak to him.
Oh, we PDF dropped. He probably bad connection. Oh, he's back. You probably have to.
Rogue, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
All right, Roger that. Get my number from PDF. Remind him, text, because I've moved state and all these numbers and all this stuff. I lost your number in one of the other phones.
All right.
But some very relevant and some very, very serious delegations on the federal level and international levels pertaining to everybody here in the United States. Ireland, y'all need to step up. Where the hell is the Sinn Féin? What have they been doing?
Yeah, well, do you know what? One of the guys of a major supermarket chain here, the CEO, he for some reason put a statement in the newspaper. He said, start collecting tinned foods because there's going to be food shortages in winter and fall.
Right, and who paid for the advertisement? The Sinn Féin.
No, it wasn't an advertisement. You already know the supermarket racket there. I already know. That's why you can't sell Guinness at the gas stations. Come on, man, get Sinn Féin back in the government. Well, they were actually never in government, but they're going to get in soon enough. Sooner than later.
We're looking at about 10 minutes and change. Food toy. We talked and discovered. You remember Shannon Airport, the subject we talked about in Ireland. Shannon Airport.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, keep your eye on that. Look for the UN. They're gonna be there soon.
Yeah. I know.
They're not coming in Dublin or anywhere else. They're coming in Shannon.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's an American base there. I think maybe army base.
Well, it's a UN
base. Isn't it?
I got to bounce out of here, guys. Good.
Roger that. I do as well. Thank you, Rogue. You take care of yourself, PDF, Futoy, everybody else. And we'll jump out as well.
Always great to see you guys. Always great to see you guys.
Always good to see you
later, everybody.
See you later.
Be safe, everybody. Take